That kind of nerd. Let's start the show with comics, movies, and technology. Here we go, bringing you the segments that you're looking for, like Cape Talk, Screen to Stream, Tech Perspective, and more. Cast this nerd degree and the Blockbuster. Welcome to the club, cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Millen, joined by, just the one, the only, the delightful Josh Burns.
What up?
Fortunately, Brian couldn't make it. He was actually sucked into a Home Depot shopping loop and is currently working on fixing his echoey room. He will return once his tasks are accomplished or if he ever finds the exit to the Home Depot. Gotta love a new homeowner.
Are you confusing Home Depot with IKEA?
No, IKEA sends you in a loop, right? But the problem is with Home Depot,
a never-ending loop.
Right, but with meatballs. With Home Depot, it's, I should fix that, or we should do that, or we should do this. And next thing you know, it's never ending. It's like going to Target with a cart. You don't do that.
I don't think I've ever had a project that didn't consist of 4 trips to the Home Depot.
Right, exactly. So just stay there until you know you have everything.
There's no way.
Is you never know.
No, until you've got the wall open and you're like, So there's no studs here. All right, guess I'll put one of those in.
I'll just put a mirror up there and I'll be looking right at one. Hey-oh.
That's terrible.
All right. Well, you did come here for dad jokes. However, you came here for some other things going on in the nerdy world. And since Brian isn't here, Joshua, you made a great idea the other week of, hey, let's change a little bit of the Blockbuster, right? We're in a different world right now when it comes to consuming our entertainment. So I decided this week that I would crack open the books. I would get the heavy leather-bound ones that are bound by chains, and I would look at what is going on in the streaming services and tell you what is going on in our Blockbuster 2.0.
Those books are only meant for the Sorcerer Supreme.
I am in the restricted section, Josh. I'm not supposed to be there. So the 3 that I have picked are the 3 common ones that a lot of people like to stream from. I have the new HBO Max, we've got Netflix, and we have Amazon. So want to start with what HBO Max is pulling out for their entertainment for the month of February. So they're announcing an abundance of releases since they're a new service for TV series and movies. This is including 2 premieres of Warner Brothers movies. One is called Judas and the Black Messiah, and the other one is the family-friendly movie, Tom and Jerry. Now, as HBO has kind of said, they're going to be doing dual releases of both in-theater and HBO Max on the same day. I mean, more power to you. I know that Tom and Jerry is this live-action, animated, Who Framed Roger Rabbit style Space Jam thing where it's the animated world interacting with the real world. Did you have any impressions of kind of watching this the last time we talked about the trailer?
I was a Tom and Jerry kid. I don't know how it translates, but I loved the cartoon when I was a kid. That's all I can really say about it.
I mean, they're 2 characters who don't talk, so like
they don't need to though. I mean, they're very they're very demonstrative characters.
There's obviously a lot of stars and cameos that are showing their way through it, so I'm interested. It's got this little like hotel thing going on with it, so okay. So those are the 2 like big original tentpole movies that are going to be coming to HBO Max. Now, that doesn't mean though that they let you out the dust for some of the classic stuff that you love. So I'm sorry Brian's not here because Batman fans are going to be pretty happy because a huge number of the Batman movies are going to be hitting HBO Max in February, which does include George Clooney's nipple-clad Batman and Robin. But then you also get the Michael Keaton version of Batman and Batman Returns. All 3 of the Matrix movies are going to be hitting because that also means that Matrix 4 will be coming out on HBO Max. I think they said around June, July, because I know they switched it because it was conflicting with another Keanu Reeves movie.
It's forever away. It's forever away.
Many times. But since you also love Keanu Reeves, Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted Bogus Adventure will also
Bogus Journey, I'm sorry,
will also be hitting HBO Max come February as well. So a lot of things going on there. Is there anything else on the list, Josh, that you saw for HBO Max that really kind of stood out to you?
No, I tell you what I've been watching on HBO Max is a lot of DC. I've been watching 2 things. A lot of DC. Watched The Dark Knight Returns again. Watched Constantine, City of Demons, which was fantastic. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And I'm almost done with season 2 of Succession.
I heard very good things.
Well, okay, so I am thoroughly captivated by this show, and I hate I don't like one character.
They're not good.
One.
Yeah, they're not good people.
But they have no redeeming qualities. And I can usually find. So Laura would say you can usually find something good in the most evil, and I'm just no, I don't like any of these people. Like even the ones that you think like, oh, they're so evil that they're cool. It's like, no, like they're so evil, but they're just not evil. They're like bad people.
Right.
I don't like, I just like, I hope they end up dead or destitute. Seriously.
Right.
Just.
It's not anti-hero. You're just watching assholes on the screen.
It really is. Cool. It really, yes. Just awful people. But no, that's it for HBO. I think.
I know for my horror fans that are out there, I know Saw, all what 7 Saws?
Oh yes, all the Saws,
except for Better Call. That one's not on there. So all the Saws are also going to be jumping on there, and Blade Runner. I think it's the final cut that's coming on there. So if you haven't seen Blade Runner, first off,
I think that's already on.
Is it? Okay, I just know it was on the list of stuff that's coming on there too. So HBO Max has a lot that's going on, and it has some original series. But yeah, they're really loading up their 2021 with a lot of Batman, a lot of DC content. So Amazon Prime obviously has a lot that's coming down too, and they're really setting the stage for, again, some things that are going to be coming. So on February 1st, Eddie Murphy's Coming to America will be added to the Prime roster because Coming to America 2 is going to be exclusively released on Amazon Prime come March. So it gets people some time to watch, the original before the sequel comes out.
It's Coming to America.
Yes, I guess that Coming to America, the number 2. Yeah. Okay,
but you can't, but it's different. You're still saying it wrong.
Is this like Brian Roman and Brian Roman?
That's right. Okay. The first one is, and you said the same thing.
Coming to America, Coming to America.
That's right.
Okay, I got you.
See, you had it that time.
Okay, gotcha. We got it on there. All right, so that's coming on. Also, February 1st, a couple of movies that I actually like a lot, too, that are going to be coming. The Prestige, Dazed and Confused.
Love The Prestige. Love Dazed and Confused.
The first 3 seasons of Billions will also be coming to Amazon Prime. There's also a original movie, Bliss, that's going to arrive on February 5th. That's the one that we talked about with Owen Wilson and Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog comes February 18th, almost a full year after it hit theaters. It's now finally onto a streaming service. I love Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, yet, so I'm there for it.
I mean, yeah. I don't know that there's a ton. Billions is next on my list, actually, of things that I will be binge watching. I've had too many people tell me I need to, and I've tried to watch episode 1 3 times, and I haven't been able to get through it. So I'm going to give it another go. Amazon doesn't have a ton for me, honestly. Like, unless they're talking about a new Jack Ryan, which they're not, in at least, no time soon. There is one thing before we move on to Netflix that I wanted to discuss from Hulu. Was released January 22nd, and Laura and I watched it last night. It's called In and of Itself. Derek DelGaudio's In and of Itself.
I've heard of this, but I don't know. Like, all I know is I heard it.
It's a one-man show that was performed on a New York City stage 250 however many times.
Sure.
The tagline says, storyteller and conceptual magician Derek DelGaudio attempts to understand the illusory nature of identity and answer the deceptively simple question, who am I? It was so good.
And he's a magician? Oh, wait, I know this guy. Okay, yeah.
Well, you know him?
No, not personally. I've seen stuff that he's done.
Dude, it was so good. I can't describe how good it was. It was so good. We told Christian if we heard his voice one more time, he had to go upstairs and like everything shut off all the sound.
Sure.
We didn't want to hear anything but what was going on the screen. Phones off. No talking, no nothing. It was amazing. So I can't speak to anything else on Hulu at this point.
Right.
But I saw a TikTok about this, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a watch. Oh, it's amazing.
Okay. Well, I'll have to put that on the list. I didn't really pull Hulu just because they usually don't.
No, why would you? Why would you?
Right. All right. So then that turns our attention to the giant in the room, which is Netflix. They have a slew of Valentine's-y things that are coming in February, including the relationship drama starring Zendaya. They're also doing the conclusion to All the Boys trilogy that they have.
Nobody cares, Sean.
But
Nobody cares.
The Malcolm and Marie movie starring Zendaya and John David Washington. He's from Tenet, if you don't know him, and BlacKkKlansman.
Everybody knows who. Yeah.
This is really cool. This was a black and white movie that was shot entirely during the pandemic at the early stages of it. A couple controversies around their age gap, but whatever, they're both adults, so to hell with it. It looks pretty interesting, something that I want to see.
Zendaya is a terrible actress. God awful.
I can't say that I can really judge her. I've really only ever watched her in oh god, what was that movie with Hugh Jackman?
No, you mean Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I know Spider-Man: Homecoming, but also Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman. It's like the only two things I've ever seen her in, really. I mean, honestly, that I've actually paid attention to. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Casey Undercover is what my kids watched her in.
Yeah, that was not my.
I mean, she was any show where like Kadeem Hardison is the bright spot. You've probably got a problem.
A couple of just honorable mentions. I thought just, again, not original content, but movies that I enjoy that are coming to Netflix. Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
Good Lord.
Right. That's going to be coming. The Patriot with Mel Gibson. Solid movie. Really enjoy it. And then Shutter Island. Leonardo DiCaprio. Just having a great freaking time with Martin Scorsese making a movie. So those three are kind of on my list. Anything that you could really think of for Netflix that's.
I mean, War Dogs is cool. That's second week of February. There's a bunch of originals, and I'll have to see, what those are all about.
Oh, many.
Before I go, I want to watch this. But Netflix. I'll tell you what. Sometimes I'm just scrolling through what the top 10 are, and I'm picking something. That's what I did yesterday. I was bored. What's in the top 10? This documentary, Spycraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
And I watched the first 3 episodes of that. Pretty fucking cool.
I watched Night Stalker on Netflix.
Laura's watching that.
Oh,
yeah.
Super good. And then because Netflix is just like, so you like murder, huh? It was like, do you want to watch Ripper? And I was like, I'll watch The Ripper. And that was also very good. So some of their true crime stuff really, really popping on there. So I made those 2 little recommendations. But Night Stalker is, dude, that's dark. That is a messed up.
I'm not. It's not my cup of tea. It is Laura's. Leaving Netflix. February 28th is Saving Mr. Banks. If you've never seen that movie, listener, you should see that movie. It's the story of how Mary Poppins got made, and it is a really, really good movie.
Starring one Mr. Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
as Walt Disney.
Yes, and I liked him very much in that role.
And you know what? I was gonna say I'm shocked that he does that, but they portray him very well in that movie. And Tom Hanks has an existing relationship with Disney, so I think it's all right.
Yeah, I have no commentary on
the portrayal of Walt Disney.
On the portrayal of Walt Disney, but I thought that the movie was incredibly well made.
So one trailer that came across the desk, actually from you, Josh, that is not related to our streaming services, but still something that's coming out into the world in the month of February, is the movie Crisis, starring Armie Hammer, Gary Oldman,
Evangeline Lilly,
thank you,
Michelle Rodriguez, Greg Kinnear, Luke Evans.
I think his name. So a lot of great stuff in there. This is a story really around the opiate crisis, it sounds like, and then has this great like smuggling tale put into it too.
Think about the movie Traffic, right? Erica Christensen and many others, Michael Douglas. But it's like that, right? But not coke and dope. It's about opioids,
right?
Look, it's got a great cast, and the trailer looks solid, and I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, so it's going to be in select theaters in February, but then arrives to VOD and digital in March. So not exactly able for you to watch in February, but will be available by the March timeframe. All right, now that we are done talking about the world of streaming directly, it's now time to talk about the world of comics. See how it's affecting TV, see how it's affecting streaming right now, because movies aren't really a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk. I would say how it's affecting Brian, but he's not here. Jimmy, can we just put Brian in anyway? Right here, right now.
Cape Talk. What'll happen is he'll listen and scream at his phone, whatever his listening device is,
sure.
And then it'll be affecting him.
Okay, that sounds about right. Okay, good. So listen, it is official. We now have the release date for the, I guess, 4-part miniseries, 4-hour movie of Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. It's going to start streaming on HBO Max on March 18th.
Doesn't say if it's all at once or episodic, though.
Does not say. I have a feeling you have to put this out all at once.
All at once. God. Oh, yes.
Like, because if you don't,
right.
I don't know.
Then you've got a problem.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand what you're doing. Okay. I mean, listen, I'm going to watch this because I think we have to, right? I think we're going to have to talk about this.
Contractually obligated.
I think we're contractually obligated to say this. I'm going in knowing this is going to be disappointing to me and that I'm going to be angry.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I think that's a ridiculous statement.
I'm going to come into this knowing this makes me angry, that this is a thing.
No. I think it's okay to come in with the bar set low.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
Recalibrate me here. Help me out.
No, I think it's foolish to say I'm coming in knowing this is going to disappoint me, because it may not. But if you're the guy sitting there, like, Randy Quaid in the stands in Major League 2,
right?
Oh, they're gonna screw it up in the series. It's not. Don't be the guy who's rooting against happiness, especially when, if done right, if done as close to right as possible.
Sure.
This could correct some serious mistake, because that movie was dog shit. Like, I think we all agree.
Fucking awful movie. Yes.
We prefer basically any other DC movie to Justice League.
Correct.
Even Aquaman.
Yeah. Yep. And Aquaman's also pretty
I
bad.
haven't finished Wonder Woman 1984.
That's also.
I prefer that.
I would probably watch Wonder Woman 1984 twice before I would just willingly watch Justice League.
If Zack Snyder said, you know what, we bit off more than we could chew. We need 4 hours to do this right, and we're going to do it right. Here's how we do it.
If he pulls this off, and it's great, I have a huge, heaping, steaming pile of dog shit that I have to eat.
That's why you're rooting against it, because you don't want to eat dog shit.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I think I've gone on the record very adamantly and with language that does not give me any wiggle room that this is not going to be good. So
you never hard passed, right? So
I don't think I ever hard passed, but I reluctantly I'll be kicking and screaming the entire 4 hours.
Every single time that this subject came up, you've been a poopy pants.
Oh, I mean, you've super power poopy pants.
Dare I say a curmudgeon?
I think I have talked more positively of the Android operating system than I have this movie. And I would probably recommend someone buy a Windows computer before I say, yeah, you should probably watch. I think this will be good, right? Before I like.
Are you? Yes. You're more fan of the HTC Titan Windows phone,
right? Absolutely. I would go back to living on a Samsung Galaxy Epic 4G Touch 2. Then I would really want to sit down and watch this movie. These references are going very, very dated and very targeted. I'm very sorry.
God, you went all the way back to 2012 for that one.
But here's the thing. If he pulls this off, and this is indeed worth A, the time, B, the money, and C, the bigger part, the aggravation, I will have to come on here and eat my goddamn words.
Yeah, you will.
And I know there's a few listeners out there who are gonna be expecting the sorry, not sorry, half-hatted apology bullshit thing.
Oh, I gotta tell you, I think Papa Thornton.
But I will literally be crucified.
Complete nerd rage. If you go sorry, not sorry.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He will write you a strongly worded handwritten letter.
If they stick the landing on this one, and this movie works,
I hope they do.
I will make the apology and own that I was wrong.
And not because not for the same reason that Brian hopes they do, right? Brian hopes they do, obviously, because he wants to see the content, but more than that, he wants to see you eat your words.
Correct. Very true. Yeah.
I want to see a good movie, a really good movie from DC. And I don't think we've had one in a long time.
No. So I am nervous of this. However, I will be open to being wrong because let's face it, if I'm wrong, ultimately we all win because we have a great thing going on.
That's right.
But if it's bad, if it doesn't work, if it's a hot mess, if it makes no sense, if things don't even look like they were polished.
No, you see, you're giving yourself too many outs. If
this doesn't work, I get to celebrate.
I think you need to watch it with, let's just say watch it like you're seeing it for the first time with an open mind.
I'll be willing to do that because
you're giving yourself all these outs.
I'll be willing to do that because I don't remember Justice League. Like I don't. The only thing I remember is the Martha bullshit and the mustache. That's the only thing I remember.
It was awful.
So as long as I don't start just completely agitated, I will probably be open and then I will come back and eat my words. But mark my words, if it's bad, and all you fanboys who have been crusading for this Snyder cut because it's going to be the heavenly grail of comic book movies and we finally nailed it right. And if it's garbage, I'm going to be gloating the entire time and you cannot shut me up. So I'm just saying that's happening. I do want to take a moment also to talk a little bit about this promotional thing that they've got going on for this as well, that you can get a Justice League dinner delivered to your house to celebrate the release of the Justice League. The meal
but not really.
Right. The meal that cost $130 for two people will that's outrageous. Will arrive with food inside inspired by the characters from Justice League and will deliver on April 15th or May 27th, which, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, we just said this movie comes out in March, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I look,
so here's my one thing with that. Here's my one worry with this. Look at the date. It's March 18th is when it drops. Yep. And it's April 15th when you can get the meal. Maybe they do this week to week and it takes you a whole month to watch the movie.
I don't. God, I hope not. If they do, then it looks like your meal may arrive for the finale.
Right.
The Mother Box at Home meal is what they're calling it.
Good on them on that one.
And look, first I want to correct your scoff. $130 for two people is not ridiculous. It's actually, for a tasting menu, very reasonable.
Sure. If it was made fresh, I have to do something to eat this.
Yes, you have to make it at home. But the tasting menu has several, it's a multi-course meal.
Sure.
Obviously. I just don't know because, it's funny is they're like, oh, you're going to be able to order this.
Have you gone to the website? Because you can't. Not that it's sold out. It's not telling you, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any more.
No, it's just like, yes, you can. Here are the things we'll be preparing. Right. We're not really sure.
Add it to your cart. Add it to your cart, but there's no checkout button.
Right.
So there's a couple items that are on here. The first one is the Ocean Trench, which looks like it's Icelandic.
That's the only thing that they tell you what it is.
Right. The Icelandic cotton chips with a trench dressing, which is prepared at home. There's the Big Belly Burger, which we all know that's from OTC reference. It's a famous fast food burger served with condiments. Thank you. I appreciate that description. The Resurrection, which literally just says, follow us for the reveal.
They all say that. The rest of them say that, right? So all we know is that there's the 2X Big Belly Burger. So we're assuming it's 2 patties.
Sure.
And if you're a vegetarian, that's 2 meat-free patties, which is fine.
Cool.
And everything else says follow for a reveal.
Well, except for the Jitters coffee. I mean, that's just
which is a cold brew coffee in a can.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Look, I do think if I think just promotionally, it's upside down. And if they were if they were prepared to deliver on time for the movie release, then fine. But they're not.
Right.
And so I have no use for this.
Yeah. Interesting. I maybe like to see the box. I mean, I feel like this at the end will be a collector's thingamabob. And
whatever. It's a month late.
A month late. Yeah, or
a month or two.
I was going to say you could get it in May when like the movies. And if you hated the movie, you now have $130 tasting menu for a movie that you hated. This is as good as the AMC popcorn bucket in that case, right? This is not doing you any good.
Every bite reminds me of my hatred.
Fuck Snyder and this goddamn thing. This coffee's delicious, but this burger sucks. Just like the character development in this goddamn movie. So yeah, no, it's just one of those things. It's every bite is going to be full of frustration, or again, maybe it's good.
Moving on,
and every bite fills you with joy and satisfaction. All right, the final piece of Cape Talk is we actually did get a trailer for the CW. My apologies, original show, Superman and Lois, which I will fight every urge to call Lois and Clark.
Right,
because that my dumb brain work.
Yeah, that's where the way you're wired.
The way I'm wired. But looks interesting, good.
Absolutely. My fear is that those of us who are huge fans of the CW shows, in the Berlanti-verse, yes, will oversell this to people who maybe just want to watch a cool Superman thing, and I don't think it's quite that. Like, you have to know how it fits in with the rest of DC shows. And this is not the Superman you're used to. This is not even the Clark that you're used to, and certainly not the Lois you're used to.
It looks like the set of Smallville, right? The WB
Dude,
show.
The trailer really oversells it. It's completely oversold. It will not look like that. It will not look like that.
Yeah,
it will not be.
The production value in the trailer is through the roof.
It's spectacular.
And listen, CW honestly really has stepped up their production value for their series over the years.
Definitely.
But this is movie level.
Oh yeah,
and
it's oversold.
We're not going to get this.
It's way pumped up,
right?
No, and look, I like
Tyler.
I like them in the crossovers.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I even like their appearances in Supergirl, and I like what the I can't pronounce his last name, and Brian now is yelling at me. But Tyler, and then however you say his last name, is a really good Superman.
This is, and we will have John Cryer, right? Will we not have John?
I don't think we'll have John Cryer. He's been more Supergirl stuff, and this he's kind of removed from that world.
But they've got to have a Lex. Right.
I don't know. I don't know who your big bad is going to be. I think this is going to be something different. I don't think in the CWs and the Berlanti versus story of Superman, Lex Luthor has not been his main villain.
It's Tyler Hoechlin, right?
Hoechlin, thank you. I'm just dumb. You know how I am. It's fine.
Okay.
Right? I think we all understand that I'm an idiot. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. I don't think, again, I'm probably wrong. I don't think that he's been the main foil for Superman. I think it's been other things because we've been focusing on Supergirl rather than Superman.
Right. I think it's a better show if we do have him. But okay. All right. So my hopes dashed.
Yeah. I'm looking at the cast list and everything from the description.
They don't have
I do not see him.
Have any villains in it.
So
when do we have the first episode? When's the premiere?
February 23rd.
Oh, there it is. Pilot.
February 23rd, 2-hour premiere event on CW and then available next day on the CW app.
I mean, my final thought on Superman and Lois, I have to do the same thing. I have to keep looking at it so that I don't say the other.
Right.
Yes. Title. I don't think we've had a very good new CW Berlanti show in quite some time.
I will agree with you on that one.
So I'm excited for a new show, the possibilities for new crossovers, and that, like, that's my final.
Much like Brian says with Kevin Feige and Feige we trust, also in Berlanti we trust, right? I will always give Berlanti the benefit of the doubt. I may not like it, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt before I.
I'm gonna watch the 2-hour premiere,
right?
I watched the Batwoman premiere, and I went, oh
no, yeah, I said no, thank you, not for me.
Not for me, sir. Right. So, and I watched Legends for a season, and then I went, nope.
Did it for a few.
I'm done with. Yeah, nope.
Yep.
But in Berlanti we trust, and
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And again, hoping for good, right? Thanks, DC.
Always.
You're doing good on this TV stuff. Keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's turn our attention away from comic books and turn it to just kind of entertainment at large in a segment that we call Screen to Stream. Want to start first with, we got an announcement for the premiere of The Mighty Ducks, The Mighty Ducks Game Changers, the sequel series to Mighty Ducks.
With a decent cast.
Including the one and only Emilio Estevez reprising his role as he should.
And looks like Lauren Graham as the love interest.
Gotta love Lorelai Gilmore, right? I mean, you just love what she does.
Sure. I think she's better on Zoe's Infinite Playlist, but...
Check out Parenthood. She's really good in that too.
No, I can't.
Really?
I can't.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
No.
But
nope.
This looks nice. I like what we've got.
The beginning of the trailer, the coach that's a dick to Lauren Graham's kid.
Yes.
Letterkenny.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're already in.
He's one of the hockey boys.
You're like, oh,
I'm gonna have to watch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch at least an episode.
You're like, oh, they're stacking the deck. Yeah, we got.
I'm in.
There. Yeah, right.
They got a real hockey boy.
Got the hockey guy in. I'm already there. Mighty Ducks. It's been a while since we've done this, so I'm so sorry. Been a while.
Now shut up.
I had to do it. If I don't do it, I have to pay somebody. I'm not doing that. So Mighty Ducks, it's been quite some time since we've seen this story play out, so it'd be nice to get this into a new generation. And it looks like that they're going up against the Ducks. Like, plot twist, the Ducks have become elitist and no longer, welcoming the scrappy young guys, and now they have to get, someone else in there. So it looks interesting. We also got a trailer, and I'm a little sad that Brian isn't here because I know he would probably defend this movie way more than I will. Godzilla versus Kong. You have thoughts or feelings on this?
I do. I do.
Please.
Have thoughts and feelings because Godzilla at his largest was something like 100. Was something like 120 meters.
Sure, we got a problem with scale. All right, go ahead.
And King Kong. The last movie was what? Was Skull Island?
Yes.
It was the biggest he's ever been.
Correct. Gigantic.
That was 100 feet tall. Godzilla is a solid 240 feet bigger at his largest.
Right.
But no, in this movie, Kong is like 20 feet shorter. Like I've looked at this a bit because it pissed me off. Because like the premise is so stupid based on everything we've seen.
Right.
Godzilla versus Kong. You're like, well, Godzilla steps on him, holds him down, fries him with the fire.
Game over.
And then he rips his dirty damn ape head off.
Right. Okay.
Right. But now Godzilla, now Godzilla's almost 400 feet.
And he's gotten bigger somehow, right?
And now Kong is like the same size somehow. So somehow in the last 15 years, King Kong grew 2.5x.
Or
nope, not
they
or.
make him bigger in the movie?
How?
I don't know, an injection of something? I don't know.
Well, how big a needle do you have to hold? Do you what size syringe must be wielded to make Kong that big?
It's not a matter of how big it is. It's a matter of where it grips it. It's a simple matter of weight ratios, right?
If you grip it by the husk.
I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing. This is not my franchise. This is not my thing. I don't like the kaiju
mine
movies.
Either. But I did like the last two Godzilla movies.
I didn't watch them.
I did not. I'm not a fan of Kong. Unless it says donkey in front of it.
This follows. It's four. Hold on. It follows Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of Monsters, and then this one, right? So this is the fourth movie in an installment where they're finally linking these things together.
Yeah, and in King of the Monsters, Godzilla was like I mean, 400 feet tall, 393 feet, 120 some meters.
Right. How many harmonicas would you say he weighs? He weighs.
Oh my God, no! I can't.
Let's not do that. All right, go ahead.
Too many harmonicas for me to count. But like Godzilla is the destroyer of cities, and Kong is the minor disruptor of buildings. You know what I'm saying?
And the holder of ladies.
And the holder of ladies.
Right.
He is the holder of ladies.
I'll say this though. I think we can all agree that this starts with them doing the fighty, and then here comes the bigger bad, and then they team up and take down.
Oh, you know what? That was the thing. Christian was like, they better not.
They're going to do that, right? Because you can't kill one of these guys off. You can't make him lose, because then you don't go see the next movie. You don't see Khan recovering in Skull Island ICU somewhere, right?
Like a Freddy versus Jason situation.
Yes, right? There has to be a bigger bad they're going to fight up against. And you're making a face because you know I'm right.
You're like, Freddy versus Jason, one of them's got to win, right? They're like, no, here comes Michael Myers. You're like, what?
No, thank you. I didn't order this. I'm sorry. There's a Michael Myers in my salad.
The man who shan't be killed.
I did not order this. I would like to return it if I could. I'm sorry. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's coming to HBO Max, I think in November. I don't have a solid release date, and I apologize, but
doesn't even matter.
More of it will come. The next trailer that came up, is called Willy's Wonderland, starring the one, the only king of the swear words, Nicolas Cage. Now, guys, it's a Nicolas Cage movie, right? So we can all just, where you set your bar.
Grains of salt will be had.
Okay, you set your bar properly. But I'm going to ask you a question, Josh, and I know Brian is yelling right now, so I hear you. Have you heard of or seen any of the Five Nights at Freddy's content?
I've seen the app.
Okay. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. The big thing is
you just got to make it through Willy's Wonderland.
And in a Chuck E. Cheese-like restaurant, right? The animatronics at night come alive, and their goal is to murder you, right? And no one survives the night. And at Five Nights at Freddy, you got to set up security cameras and catch people, and you got tasks to do to stop them from killing you. That is literally what this is. And it's like they couldn't get the rights to say Five Nights at Freddy's, so they're just like, nah, Willy's Wonderland. We're good on this one. We did enough to change it that we're okay. Fantastic. All right, thanks. We'll collect the paycheck, and Nick Cage, you just go do your thing. I think Nicolas Cage doesn't talk in this movie at all. I don't think the man says a word.
Yeah, that's the way it looks.
Which I know he walked into the office and goes, I'm not going to say a word. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to watch it, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I may watch this.
I'm not going to watch it, but, enjoy.
I may track this down and be like, yes, please. Just because. It's going to be on demand on February 12th. So, I mean, this is going to be in your house soon. I may have to watch this just out of curiosity. I may have to find my way to get on this. So, just wanted to say that's coming. All right, Josh, I think you actually found the trailer for the next movie. It's called Boss Level. Tell me a little bit more about this.
Yeah. So Boss Level is a film that stars Frank Grillo and happens to have Mel Gibson sort of as the big bad, but it has a lot of other folks in it.
Sure.
And it's basically Live, Die, Repeat, but it's funny, and there's an underworld gangstery component to it. This guy has to die over and over and over until he can rescue his long lost love.
Yeah, and it's
who he thought was dead.
It's kind of almost they do a little bit of that video game framing of you got to rescue the princess at the end of this, but you have to learn how to sword fight in order to beat the next boss. So Groundhog's Day, Edge of Tomorrow, Happy Death Day, loop murder thing happening. I do want to note that they are leaning into the fact that he was Crossbones, because at a minute 50 in this trailer, he says, "I could do this all day," and he's stealing Cap's line, and they know it.
Yeah.
And they know it.
But this looks really good. It's got a lot of tongue in cheek. It's got a lot of slapstick to it. I really like Frank Grillo. He's done a lot of cool stuff. He flies under the radar. He also has a really cool documentary series about fighting all across the world and what goes into that. But I really like this dude. I really like the fact that Mel Gibson is this evil overlord sort of boss character. and in like it's almost, you know what it feels like, without remove the comic book sensibilities, the Scott Pilgrim sort of feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where he's on a journey, he's on a path to something.
Correct.
And he's got to accomplish all these feats along the way.
Okay, so I was watching the trailer again while we were looking this up, and I noticed something at the end of this trailer with all the production companies and things that are involved within this. And I saw the name, Joshua, that we are very well familiar with. Movie Pass Films.
Shut up.
I shit you not. I have a link to this /films things where they talk about this, but they transitioned from a completely failing business model to let me go see as many movies as I wanted to, until that one time I went to go see The Rock in Skyscraper and I couldn't. I had to pay for it. I was very upset and grumpy about it. And then I couldn't go see what is it, Red Swan or Red whatever with what's her face. They are now.
Good job.
You okay?
Red Sparrow?
Red Sparrow, there it is. With Jennifer Lawrence.
I went to see the Red movie with the what's-her-face in it.
I went to go see it. I don't remember. It was okay. It wasn't memorable. I don't remember the title. And what's-her-face in it? She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Anyway. But yeah, dude, they have pivoted. They're now a production company? Who is giving them money?
Well,
Movie Pass Films has to have the same result. Let's change it. The company put enough energy to make their own movies. They have several in the works. One of them is a Bruce Willis, Michael Chiklis movie. So hold on. They have several titles.
Is it like a case of mistaken identity? Because that would be hilarious.
Here we go. I got this. Here we go.
They've got twins?
They've got several movie titles in the works. One is a Bruce Willis / Michael Chiklis action film called 10 Minutes Gone. Okay?
Yeah, but what's the company called? It can't be called Movie Pass Films.
It's called Movie Pass Films.
They're not listed on the IMDb production company or distributor.
No, but it's on the trailer. Like,
this is, by the way, distributed. It says Hulu.
Okay, cool. Oh, awesome. Hulu. Great. Movie Pass Films is listed on the bottom of their trailer. Highland Entertainment, Diamond Film
War
Productions.
Party Film, Scott Free, Big Red, Diamond Film,
then
Highland Film Group.
And Movie Pass Films. So the Michael Chiklis movie, right? Michael Chiklis, Bruce Willis movie. They have a horror movie called The Reckoning. They have another movie starring Al Pacino, Axis Sally, and then Boss Level with Mel Gibson. This is insane. So they were double dipping. They were trying to make movies that you would go use your movie pass to go see, and they would probably drive the audience and participation level by having us share in this movie and doing that. But obviously they fucked it up so quickly they didn't ever get the chance to get this off the ground. This is insane. I just saw Movie Pass Films. I was like, what the fuck? All right. So that's a thing. That happened. I don't know how much of this is staying in, but it's there.
That's fine.
All right. So my final thing of streaming news is, as we've been talking about pretty much all episode, this is pretty heavy on this one. HBO Max, obviously. We talked about the pricing model of this thing being so wibbly wobbly and confusing and whatnot. So why not throw a monkey wrench in this one more time just for fun? Because HBO Max is going to aim to offer a cheaper ad-supported subscription later this year.
I'm willing to bet that cheaper and ad-supported means you get all of... when you scroll down to the bottom of HBO Max and you get all sort of tubes that go into it, essentially.
Yep.
So, you won't get HBO. I don't think you'll get the paste. I think you'll get all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's like a crackle of HBO stuff, like the leftover Warner Brothers stuff that are just like, nah.
It's the WB. Yeah, you'll get all the WB stuff. Right. You won't get the HBO stuff.
Right. You don't get the good stuff here. I'm sorry, you don't get that stuff, but you can watch.
You get the DC. You get DC, right? You'll get Adult Swim. You'll get all that shit.
Do you want to watch Minority Report? You can watch Minority Report with an ad. Are you okay with that? The movie's very old, but if you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. But there's ads.
I like Minority Report.
I do too. It's a good Minority Report. But anyway, they're coming out with that. So again, we've also been talking about the fact that, oh my God, all these services are just adding up over again. I just bought Discovery Plus because why the hell not? Let's just add another
That's
thing.
not included in something? That's not...
It is if you have like Verizon cell phones, and I don't have Verizon cell phones. So.
I do!
Well,
so I can get
you
this for...
probably go get it if you sign some contracted soul or lose your unlimited data or some other thing that fucks you over.
Sure.
So if you want to go screw up your whole plan to get Discovery Plus, go for it.
They said, Q2, right?
Yes.
But they don't say how much.
No.
All right, well...
So that's going to happen. At least it'll make things a little cheaper. We'll see what that is. The final thing is, obviously, I love to go around the internet to find the weird, to find the obscure, and then I love to ask you guys for your tech perspective. And this week's tech perspective is a awesome announcement that I'm very excited about, which I know you probably care none about, Josh. There is a new version of Pokemon Snap coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I would like to go on record saying that I wanted them to do this long ago, and I brought up that you could add a camera to a Switch and put the AR augmented reality part on this and do it. But I am so excited for this. I absolutely loved the original game, which came out, by the way, in 1999 on the N64.
Is this the open world shit?
No, so this is, well, maybe this one is, right? And I honestly don't know if this one's changed a bit, but the original Pokemon Snap was on rails, and you just had to take pictures of Pokemon as fast as you can. I think this one also follows the same rule of you're on rails and there's certain patterns and things that happen, and you have to snap a picture of the Pokemon. The thing that I'm looking at the trailer right now. It's 100% on rails. The thing that made this game go over the top in the 90s was one thing, which was you could take your memory card from your N64 that had your photos on it, go to a Blockbuster video, go to a special kiosk at the Blockbuster, and print out the photos. And it was the coolest thing that I ever saw when I was a kid, to walk into a Blockbuster and be like, I can print out my Pikachu thing. Let's do this. But I'm really, really excited for this game. I can't even begin to tell you how awesome this is going to be, and I'm ready for this. You just don't care. Hold on, I have to find this thing
because it doesn't even sound like it's a game.
It is a game.
It sounds like you're just on there wasting time taking pictures of shit. You're not doing anything. Journey through a variety of environments such as beaches, jungles, and deserts to capture previously unseen Pokemon behaviors. You can even toss Pokemon
treats,
a delicious fluff fruit, to catch their attention. Photos you take can also be used to fill out your very own Pokemon photo decks. Look,
Don't shit on this. Don't you shit on this, sir.
You're right. I have time for this.
This is not for you. This
no, clearly.
This was not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Remember how you couldn't watch WandaVision because you had a Teams call from 8:30 to 12:30 on Friday?
Correct.
This isn't for you either.
I want you to know the kiosks where you would get this at a Blockbuster, Josh. If you had to guess how much they go for on an open market, what do you think they would be? So to give you a perspective, it was basically a CRTV, big blue stand, N64 with a yellow controller sticking out of it. Takes a card, prints out pictures.
What are you asking me?
How much do you think the station would go for that used to be inside a Blockbuster? If you wanted to buy one of the printing things that was linked to my nostalgia for this, how much do you think it would be?
I'd say anywhere between. Can I put a ballpark?
Yeah, I'll take a ballpark.
$850 to $1199. Somewhere between $850 and $1,200.
So one of them is was on an auction for $12,000.
Shut up.
While the rest of them are going for about $2 to $5.
Nope.
$2 to $5.
Nope.
And I looked at my wife and I'm like, I want this. She goes, you go to hell. I'm like, all right, that's a fair enough assessment. So I would love to hear, though, if any other listener, help me out. I'm alone in this one right now. Pokemon Snap. Are you excited? Coming to the Nintendo Switch. Cannot wait. Very excited for it. Well, listener, that's all we have for this week. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood, drive to work, or whatever it is that we are in your life right now. We hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly, you should know it's not weekly anymore. We do a different schedule, and everything's different now.
What's the... What studio is it?
I don't know the studio.
It is
Actual Cannibal Army Hammer
What? Oh no, Burn Later Productions. I don't even. I don't
never heard.
So I have no idea what. Yeah, you've heard of Burn Later Productions.
Have I? What have they done? Anything I know?
Oh, it's Universal. Hold on, distributors Universal, Warner Brothers. So it should be HBO now if it's being distributed. Burn Later Productions, Mile 22, The Intervention, Drinking Buddies, Dinner in America. Hearts Beat Loud. That was Burn. That's the Nick Offerman, Blythe Danner coming of age tale. Blah blah blah. Come on, are you serious? You're like that was.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It was a decent flick.
I like everybody that's in Drinking Buddies. I just didn't like the movie.
Oh, it wasn't. No, you're right. Like, Olivia Wilde, Jake Johnson, Anna Kendrick, Ron Livingston. This is going to be great. And then
done. Sign me up. And then you get there like,
oh, what did you guys like? How did you guys fuck this up?
Yeah. Like they had something. They had it. Just drop the ball. All right. Well, don't watch Drinking Buddies. We can learn that. Well, listener, that is our show this week. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood, the drive to work, the shopping experience.